Have you ever felt like you're walking on eggshells around someone you love? Or maybe you find yourself constantly second-guessing your own feelings and reality. These feelings aren't just a rough patch. They could be signs of something much deeper, something we call a toxic relationship. It's a term we hear a lot, but what does it actually mean? It's not just about arguments or disagreements. It's about a persistent pattern of behavior that harms you emotionally, mentally, and sometimes even physically. It chips away at your self-esteem, isolates you from others, and leaves you feeling drained and unhappy. Recognizing the signs is the first, most crucial step toward protecting yourself and reclaiming your peace. It takes courage to look closely at our relationships, but your well-being is worth it. Today, we're going to explore 3 major signs that you might be in a toxic relationship. This isn't about placing blame. It's about gaining clarity and empowering yourself with knowledge. So, let's begin. The first sign, and it's a big one, is constant criticism and control. In a healthy relationship, partners support and uplift each other. They offer constructive feedback with kindness and respect. But in a toxic dynamic, this is replaced by a relentless barrage of criticism. It might start small, jokes about your clothes, your hobbies, or your friends. They might say they're just being honest or trying to help you improve, but over time, these comments erode your confidence. You start to believe you can't do anything right. The criticism isn't about helping you grow. It's about making you feel small so you're easier to control. This criticism often goes hand in hand with controlling behaviors. Your partner might want to know where you are at all times. They might check your phone, read your messages, or dictate who you can and cannot see. They might frame it as concern or jealousy born from love, saying things like, "I just worrying about you," or "I get so jealous because I love you so much." But true love is built on trust, not surveillance. This control can extend to your finances, your career choices, and even your personal goals. They might discourage you from pursuing a promotion because it would mean less time for them, or they might criticize your ambition, making you feel guilty for wanting more for yourself. Slowly but surely, your world shrinks until they are at the center of it, and your own identity starts to fade. You find yourself changing your behavior, your clothes, and even your personality just to avoid a negative reaction. This is not compromise. This is self-erasure. It's a key sign that the relationship is not a partnership, but a power struggle you are being forced to lose. The second sign, which is incredibly subtle and damaging, is emotional manipulation, and a classic tool for this is gaslighting. Gaslighting is a psychological tactic where someone makes you question your own sanity, your perception of reality, and your memories. It's a deeply disorienting experience. Imagine you bring up something your partner said that hurt you. Instead of acknowledging your feelings, they deny it ever happened. They might say, "I never said that, you're making things up, or you're being desensitive, that's not how it was at all." They twist your words and the events until you're left confused, wondering if you're the one who's crazy. This isn't a simple misunderstanding. It's a deliberate strategy to evade responsibility and maintain power. Another form of emotional manipulation is when they use your emotions against you. They might provoke you into an argument, and when you get upset, they calmly say, "See, you're so emotional. I can't even have a normal conversation with you." They create the storm and then blame you for the rain. They might also use guilt to control you. If you want to spend time with friends or family, they might sigh and say, "Fine, go have fun. I guess I'll just be here all alone." This puts you in an impossible position where you feel responsible for their happiness, and any attempt to have a life outside of the relationship is met with passive aggression or outright guilt tripping. They become the perpetual victim, and you become the perpetual bad guy. This constant emotional roller coaster is exhausting. He keeps you off balance, anxious, and desperate for their approval. You live for the good moments, the moments when they are charming and loving, but these moments become fewer and farther between, serving only to keep you hooked in a cycle of hope and disappointment. The third sign is isolation. A toxic partner doesn't want you to have a strong support system. Why? Because people who love you, your friends, your family, can see what's happening. They can offer you perspective and support, which threatens the toxic person's control over you. This isolation often happens gradually, so you might not even notice it at first. It starts with subtle comments. Your best friend is kind of a bad influence, don't you think? Or your family is always meddling in our business. They create friction between you and the people you care about. They might complain every time you make plans with friends, making it so dramatic and difficult that it feels easier just to stay home with them. They might demand all of your free time, making you feel guilty for wanting to connect with others. Over time, you might find yourself pulling away from your social circle to keep the peace in your relationship. You stop sharing details about your life with your family because you don't want to hear their concerns, or because your partner has made you feel ashamed. The toxic partner wants to become your entire world, your only friend, your only confidant, your only source of validation. When you're isolated, you're more vulnerable to their influence and control. You have no one to turn to for a reality check, no one to remind you of your own worth outside of the relationship. You start to rely on them for everything, which is exactly what they want. If you look around and realize you've lost touch with people who were once important to you, and that this distance was encouraged by your partner, it is a massive red flag. Healthy relationships encourage your connections with others. They don't sever them. A partner who loves you wants to see you surrounded by love from all sides, not just from them. Recognizing these signs in your own relationship can be painful and frightening. It's natural to feel confused, to make excuses for the person you care about, or to hope that things will get better. But acknowledging the truth is the most powerful thing you can do for yourself. This is not about demonizing your partner, but about prioritizing your own mental and emotional health. Your feelings are valid. Your reality is real. You deserve to be in a relationship where you feel safe, respected, and loved for who you are, not for a version of you that has been criticized, controlled, and manipulated into submission. So what do you do now? The first step is to acknowledge the reality of the situation without judgment. The second is to start rebuilding your support system. Reach out to a trusted friend or family member, someone you know will listen without judgment. Reconnecting with people who knew you before the relationship can be incredibly validating. They can remind you of the person you are. It's also incredibly important to seek professional help. A therapist can provide you with tools and strategies to navigate this difficult situation, help you rebuild your self-esteem, and guide you in setting boundaries. Setting boundaries is key. It's about deciding what you will and will not accept and communicating that clearly. This might be difficult, especially if your attempts at setting boundaries have been ignored in the past. But it's a vital step in reclaiming your power. Please know that you are not alone. So many people have been through this, and there is a path forward. Leaving a toxic relationship is a process, and it's okay to take it one day at a time. Be kind to yourself. Celebrate small victories. The journey back to yourself is the most important one you will ever take. Your happiness and your peace are non-negotiable. You deserve a love that feels like a safe harbor, not a storm. If anything we've discussed today resonates with you and you feel unsafe or in crisis, please reach out for help. You can contact the National Domestic Violence Hotline or search for local mental health resources. There are people who want to help you. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. If this video was helpful, please consider liking it and subscribing for more content on building healthy relationships and living a happier life. Take care and remember your worth.